UConn in the last couple decades, you in the last decade have dominated the sport, playing well and winning championships. I remember you eloquently spoke last year about Caitlin and how winning a title does not define a legacy, since you yourself have been in the Final Four many times and didn't win it. Just
I
how
hope this year goes the same way.
that's my question. I mean, you have a player in Paige who obviously is one of the best in the country right now and has had an injured play career, but
Right.
really good. You know her well. Can you just talk about her, what she's meant to women's basketball, and even if you guys do win tomorrow, how that won't define her as not being maybe as good as others just because she didn't win a title, if that's what you believe?
I'm gonna tread lightly with this. Here's the thing. Sometimes we create these narratives about great players. Caitlin was one of them. Paige is one of them right now. And we tend to forget the narrative about what our kids have been able to do. And going for their third in 4 years. So there's a sentimental narrative about Paige. Great freaking player. Like anybody would start their franchise with Paige because of her efficient way of playing, because of she's a winner, because she's cerebrally just knows the game, just has an aura about her. And she'll be the number one pick in the WNBA draft, and she'll be an Olympian. She will be all of those things, right? But when you put a narrative out there, everybody sees that, and it puts us at a disadvantage, whether you want to believe so or not. Officials see it. It's all over TikTok. It's all over SportsCenter. It's all over all of that. And she's a great player, but just because you're a great player doesn't mean you need to win a national championship to legitimize it. Paige is legit. She was legit from the moment she stepped, on this stage or prior to in Minnesota. Her career is legendary. She will leave a legacy at UConn, whether she wins one or not. So I just want to put that out there. Like I can't not address it because it's happening. Like it happened to us last year. Everything was about Caitlin Clark and her legacy and her ability to win a national championship. Yet we were coming in this thing undefeated, doing something that's unprecedented at the time, because it's hard. I mean, it's hard. And then we find ourselves back here in a similar situation. So, I want the sentiments to be about our players and what our players been able to do equally, because there's room to do both. Okay, we can raise Paige up because she deserves that. We can raise our players up because they deserve that. And that's not talked about enough. There's room for our game. Like it's for something for Jose. There's room for our game for all of us to be covered. Let's not choose one's history over another program's history. Let's not choose one player over another player's history, because we're all creating history for our game.
Shout out to the great Don Staley, man. I agree with 100% everything she said. It's very unfortunate that the media got her backed up against the wall when it comes to Caitlin Clark and this Paige Bueckers conversation. So last year, Don Staley makes a statement about Caitlin Clark. She says, "You can't be a GOAT without winning championships." There was we had a whole media outrage. Oh, she's hating on CC, yada yada yada. When all she did is tell the truth. And what sport? And what sport? I'm gonna ask you anybody. Is there any sport out there where you have a player that hasn't won a championship that hasn't won any type of championship. Forget the individual stuff. Championship, what you play the game for, is can you name one player that's the GOAT in their respective sport that didn't win a championship? You can't. It's always been about championships. It's always been. Individual stats, individual awards, that defines you as a great individual player. But there's levels. You can't be the GOAT without no championships. You can't be the king of the court without championships, or the queen of the court without championships. And another thing too, what Don Staley said was 100% correct regarding the media narrative. They're making everything about Paige, making everything about CeCe last year. We do need to be talking more about South Carolina. What we're witnessing in real time is absolutely dominance. They got a chance to win 3 championships out of 4 years. And no matter who's on the roster, Don Staley always figure out a way to win. You got Malaysia, Fort Wilder, right? George Edwards, Bree Hall, Raven Johnson. These are dogs, absolutely dogs. And you know what Don Staley telling them? You see how they keep making everything about CeCe and Paige Bueckers? We gonna make them folks talk about us. That's added motivation for South Carolina. Which if you UConn, you better be on your P's and Q's. Now UConn, like I said, I'm not picking UConn just based off of the fact they got Paige Bueckers, because South Carolina is more than just Malaysia, Fort Wilder. It's more than just George Edwards. You feel what I'm saying? This is going to be about best team versus best team. Gino versus Don Staley again. This is going to be a chess match. I'm expecting a real clash. As far as the media coverage, though, we need to be talking about the clash a lot more. Not just Paige Bueckers' legacy. What about Don Staley legacy? I absolutely see. Look, when she said it absolutely makes sense. What about Don Staley legacy? I don't think she's getting enough credit. We're not talking about Don Staley enough. Now, regarding Paige Bueckers, right? I'm gonna always be consistent on this. CeCe didn't win a championship. Because she didn't win a championship, I'm not going to sit here and just say, "Oh, she's not a great." She's not a. What she did wasn't great. What she accomplished was phenomenal, right? But when we start having these conversations about GOATs, where does she rank among the GOATs? I can't put her in the top. I can't put in the top of the top conversation. All those players won. So when it comes to her, I gotta change the rules of basketball to fit her in. No, it don't work like that. Ain't nobody bigger than the program. And nobody bigger than the game of basketball. Same thing Paige Bueckers, right? You look at everything Paige Bueckers has accomplished from high school to college. Phenomenal. But she needs that championship. If you're talking about putting her in that conversation with the GOATs, what about the players that came for her that play at UConn? They got chips. Stewie, Fee, Sue Bird, Donald Terrazin. The list goes on. They got chips. If you want your name, you want to sit at the same table as them players, you got to win championships. That's what it's all about. Without the championships, you can't be in that conversation. Now you got so many sensitive NBA pundits out here that's they get so fanned out with CeCe. They try to create narrative, try to say, it's the champion, it's the championship culture. What they be saying? Championship culture always trying to downplay CeCe individual stat. But y'all the same people that will sit here and say James Harden is not all that because he don't have a championship. Yeah, James Harden has led the league in scoring multiple years, assists multiple years. But yeah, if we talk about James Harden, oh, he don't have a championship, he's a loser. So yeah, that means if he's a loser, Caitlin Clark a loser. Same name, Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic, oh, he's all offense, no defense. Same thing with Caitlin Clark. That's the same stuff we've been saying. So why are we trying to move the goalpost for her or change it up for her? No, you can't. You gotta keep it square business, straight down the line. See a good player. When she accomplish an hour, great. Was she done for in college basketball, great. But she's not on. Can't put her up there. And if Paige Bueckers don't win, can't put her up there. It's that simple to me. Don Staley 100% correct. What she said last year. The media trying to butt break her, force her to get down with the agenda they pushing. See, they trying to force her to get down with their agenda. No, she's somebody that played the game, coached the game. She done been around all-time greats, coached all-time greats. She came up in that era where you had to win. If you're not a winner, then you're not in the conversation. So now y'all want her to go with this new age agenda. It's bullcrap. Shout out to Don Staley though, man. For real. I wish the best for both teams. I'll be happy for either one of them teams winning because I like Don Staley and I like Paige Bueckers and I like the team UConn has. Raven Johnson, one of my favorite college players because what she do on the defensive end. So doesn't really bother me whoever wins. Y'all let me know who y'all are picking to win the championship. Get in the comment section. Light it up. It's your boy Showtime. See y'all next video.